All right, we're gonna demonstrate making it fit in with a shrink sleeve. Here's a typical Instalock coupling. The shrink sleeve is a little different design. It's got a belt end on one fitting. It's gonna slit over the straight end of the other fitting. Put your shrink sleeve over the top of the two. You position it where you need to be. Make sure that's good and tight and secure for your ground. Pull the shrink sleeve over the top of that. It should kind of stay in position. And now we'll heat up our heat gun. As it heats, it'll slowly melt and collapse on the fitting. You can see there where it contracted well. I want to try to get this on all sides evenly. So I want to keep the heat moving. If you could concentrate too much in one spot, you can burn it. At this point, you can still do a few minor adjustments. Once it's cooled and tight, you won't be able to move it again. And you can see the black, I call it tar, I don't know exactly what's in there, coming out of the around the edges there. It means it's heated, sealed, and secured to the pipe. You can also see the shape of the belt end underneath there. All right, so now we're gonna install the drop. We'll slide that in, get that straight. We got another shrink sleeve here. Slide that so it's spanning the gap. One of the disadvantages to the shrink sleeve is we do need someone to hold it a little bit and even a little bit after it's finished. All right, looks like we're finished. We're right at 1 minute and 30 seconds, maybe 1 minute 40 seconds. So installation time wise, I'd say 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to get a good fitting. So I've set up a little section here to demonstrate joining two straight pieces using shrink sleeves. You'll need a slip coupling, two shrink sleeves. You slide the slip coupling over the straight. Try to center that. Make sure you don't forget to put your sleeve on. Slide that into position. And you can see it's all pretty loose at this point, so you're going to rely on the shrink sleeve to seal. You can put these into position. For this, I'm using 2.5 inch shrink sleeves or 2 1/8 inch shrink sleeves on a 2.5 inch tube. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start the stopwatch. And I'm gonna try to do both of these at the same time. So this is still warm. You can see if you look right here, it's still got a little flex. So before you let it set up, you can adjust it, get your straightness, get your some fine adjustment. Then after a couple of minutes, that's gonna set up pretty solid. You can reheat this later if you needed to try to either remove it or to adjust it again, but it's best to do it in one shot, get a good seal and let it sit. So we did the two fittings, the slip coupling, 3 minutes, 25 seconds. We're just using a Milwaukee heat gun, 110 volt. Could probably speed that up a little bit with maybe a higher voltage heat gun. Gotta be a little careful, you can burn that exterior, so gotta pace yourself. But makes a nice vacuum tight seal, low cost, just a little longer to install.